Good morning, my dear Morning Prep Nugget listeners. Welcome to the ninth episode of the Morning Prep Nugget. I am so excited this morning. I am Ebomesi Ebele. For today's episode, I have an amazing guest with me. It's Mr. Judy. He's a researcher and data analyst, quantitative data consultant for Academic Eye, and also is a Christian. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. How are you doing this morning, Mr. Judy?
Good morning, Mercy, and thank you for having me on your program. I'm fine, and you?
I'm great. Alright, so for this episode, we'll be discussing about the broken focus. Majority of us listening now can testify that we've had moments when we were working on something important, but suddenly our minds decide it's a great time to explore the universe of random thoughts. That's broken focus in action. Now, imagine you trying to read a book, but your mind keeps wandering to other thoughts or tasks. That's the tricky part of broken focus. So today, our guest will help us understand why it happens and how to regain control. So over to you, Mr. Yudi.
Thank you very much, Mercy, and thank you very much, listeners. So this morning we'll be handling a very important topic called broken focus. But before we talk about broken focus, let's understand the word focus in a very layman understanding. Focus is the ability to have an undivided attention on a particular thing. You are working and you're having an undivided attention on a particular thing. So what is broken focus? Broken focus is the inability of an individual to start a task and remain consistent to a logical conclusion. You start a task, but you cannot complete it when you're supposed to. Jesus, speaking in Luke chapter 9, verse 6, to say that no man having put his hand in the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom. This implies that when you begin any task, when you start a journey, when you start any program, when you begin any kind of activity, make sure that you are conscious enough to follow it to a logical conclusion. Make sure you are conscious enough to finish that task. The one and only thing that causes broken focus is distraction. Now, the word distraction in itself is relative. What is distraction to you may not be distraction to another person. So I'll always say this: find out what is distracting you and handle it. Here are two ways to handle broken focus. One, stay charge of your mind. Stay charge of your mind. My pastor will always say that you can't control the cars that drive on the highway, but you take charge and you take responsibility for the one that you stop and you enter. So you cannot really control the thoughts that comes into your mind, but you have control over the one you decide to ponder on. So when the thoughts keeps coming, please discard them as they come. Discard them immediately. Stay charge of your mind. Another way to handle broken focus is to set boundaries. Of course, broken focus can be caused by either internal or external interference. So when you take charge of your mind, you are handling the internal interference. But when you set boundaries, you are handling the external interference. You know what your distraction is. The other person knows what his or her distraction is. I know what my distraction is. So what do? We set boundaries as to making sure that these distractions doesn't get to us. If it is your phone, please do away with your phone. If it is a friend, please, while walking, do away with that person. For the meantime, yes, because you know you have a goal, you have a target, you have a destination, and you must arrive. And you must get there. So for you to get to your destination, do away with every form of distraction. Like Nehemiah did when he encountered Sanballat and Tobiah. He had to tell his workers, we walk with one hand and we hold weapons with one hand. Meaning, if they come, we fight them. But the work cannot stop. We cannot stop doing what we are supposed to do and just focus on distraction. So, two ways to handle broken focus. Please take charge of your mind and then set boundaries. Don't leave what you're supposed to do and focus your attention on distractions. This way, you will be able to handle broken focus. You will be able to concentrate. You will be able to focus. Be deliberate enough to ensure that your attention is not drifting off course. You are reading and random thought comes. Be very deliberate enough to make sure that you continue reading. You are not stopping what you are doing to just ponder over a random thought. You be deliberate enough to make sure your attention is not drifting off course. Be focused, be deliberate, and be conscious. I'll leave us with a scripture that's in Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Thank you and have a lovely day.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Yudi, for those deep insights into overcoming broken focus. I look forward to having you back on the show, and I'm grateful for your time and wisdom. To our listeners, thank you for your time and attention. Stay focused, stay inspired. Until next episode, have an amazing morning, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Bye.